Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, the tale of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 1 penny of 2014. It is not merely a coin but a fragment of history, a silent witness to eras gone by, a masterpiece crafted with meticulous care, and a beacon for collectors worldwide. Our journey begins in the echoes of time, where the heritage of the British monarchy casts a long and illustrious shadow over the land. For centuries, coins have served as tokens of power and symbols of endurance, and none capture this tradition quite as masterfully as the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. Crowned with regal dignity, her effigy has adorned countless coins since her ascension, a portrait that has evolved with the monarchy yet retained a timeless allure. The 1 penny of 2014 is no exception. It carries with it the weight of history and the grace of continuity, a connection between the present and the storied past of a realm that has witnessed the rise and fall of dynasties. The coin itself is a marvel of artistic design. When you hold it, you feel the gentle heft of history. The obverse bears a portrait of the reigning monarch, an image that has been crafted with intricate detail by artists who have dedicated their lives to the pursuit of perfection. In 2014, the engraving on the 1 penny paid homage to Queen Elizabeth II's enduring legacy, merging the traditional with a hint of contemporary finesse. The artist's hand has captured the subtle lines of determination and benevolence, rendering the Queen not merely as a ruler but as a symbol of continuity and stability through tumultuous times. Each curve of her hair, every graceful tilt of her head, speaks volumes about the regal burden she carries, the responsibilities that come with a title steeped in centuries of tradition. Beyond the portrait, the reverse design of the coin is a study in symbolic artistry. Crafted to evoke the rich tapestry of British history, the reverse side tells its own story. It is a celebration of heritage, featuring motifs that nod to ancient heraldry, while also embracing modern elements that speak to a forward-looking nation. The intricate details, be it the finely honed texture or the nuanced play of light and shadow, invite a closer inspection, promising that with every glance, a new detail is discovered. It is this constant interplay between the past and the present that elevates the coin from a mere piece of currency to a collector's treasure. Minting such a coin is an art form, one that has been refined over generations. In 2014, the process of bringing this 1 penny to life was one of both tradition and innovation. Deep within the historic walls of the mint, skilled craftsmen and state-of-the-art machinery worked in unison, blending time-honored techniques with modern precision. The minting process itself is almost ritualistic, a carefully choreographed dance of metal, heat, and pressure. Raw bullion is transformed through a series of deliberate stages, refining, casting, and finally, the delicate art of striking the design onto a blank canvas. There is something almost mystical about watching precious metal yield to human ingenuity. It is as if the coin is being gently coaxed into existence, layer by shimmering layer. The moment when the design is impressed upon the metal is both fragile and powerful, a fleeting instant where artistry and industry converge perfectly. In that instant, centuries of history are condensed into a small, tangible object that carries the weight of national pride. The coin's finish, a subtle but masterful play between matte and gloss, speaks to the time and effort invested in ensuring that every detail is captured with immaculate clarity. Every curve of the denomination, every shadow cast by the intricate design, is a testament to the meticulous attention to detail that defines British minting tradition. For many, the 1 penny of 2014 is more than just a remnant of everyday transactions. It is a beacon for the passionate world of coin collecting, a universe where history is preserved in metal and value is measured not just in currency, but in stories, heritage, and rarity. Collectors, both seasoned and new, have long been captivated by the allure of coins that bear the likeness of a monarch, whose image transcends the passage of time. The coin represents a tangible connection to the past. It embodies eras of celebration and strife, triumph and hardship. It is a silent storyteller that bears witness to moments that have shaped the nation. The collector's journey is deeply personal, filled with the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the satisfaction of unearthing a treasure that others may overlook. It is this thrill that the 1 penny of 2014 inspires, a symbol of rarity that, despite its modest denomination, has grown in value far beyond what the ordinary mind might expect. In a world where the numerical value of currency can often dictate its worth, the coin stands apart as a cultural and historical artifact, imbuing it with a mystique that transcends mere economics. Within this realm of collectors, there are whispers of its unique history, stories passed down like legends among enthusiasts. Some speak of the coin being struck in particularly high quality, with a level of detail that rivals much larger denominations. Others reveal that only a select few were minted, making it a rarity in the world of contemporary numismatics. These pieces of lore, while steeped in the mystique of coin collecting, underscore a reality that is both mesmerizing and tangible. A coin that began as a humble piece of currency has, over time, ascended to an icon of incredible historical and monetary value. Imagine the scene: a collector carefully polishing the coin, the soft gleam of the metal reflecting lamplight as their fingers trace the contours of a monarch's visage. Each scratch and dent on the coin tells a story, not of wear and tear, but of a journey that is as unique as the individual who holds it. In their hands lies a piece of history, a fragment of a nation's narrative that continues to live on through the annals of time. It is not uncommon for collectors to speak with a reverent tone when discussing the 1 penny of 2014, recognizing that it is a relic that encapsulates not just the physical craftsmanship of its era, but also the intangible beauty of a storied past. And yet, the coin's story is not confined to the realms of history and art alone. There is a profound economic narrative woven into its very fabric, one that speaks to the unpredictable nature of value in an ever-changing world. At first glance, the 1 penny of 2014 might seem unassuming, a small denomination, easily overlooked in the hustle of everyday transactions. However, the forces of rarity, demand among collectors, and the very mystique of its creation have all contributed to elevating its status to that of a coveted investment. The pathways of history, artistry, and economics merge in this small, finely crafted piece of metal, transforming it into a symbol of financial genius as well as cultural significance. Throughout its journey from the mint to the collector's safe, there has been an evolution of perception regarding this coin. What once was an everyday piece of currency has gradually taken on the guise of a collectible masterpiece, its rarity amplifying as time goes on. For collectors and historians alike, it is a testament to the idea that true value is not measured solely in the numbers printed on paper, but in the stories, the craftsmanship, and the inexorable passage of time that imbues an object with meaning. In this light, the 1 penny becomes an emblem of historical continuity, a bridge between the world of tangible economics and the ephemeral realms of legend and memory. The journey of the 1 penny of 2014 is also deeply intertwined with the personal narratives of those who cherish it. Many collectors recall the thrill of discovering such a coin at a flea market, in an estate sale, or tucked away in the recesses of an old box, like finding a forgotten secret from history. These experiences, shared over cups of tea or animated discussions in collector communities, have cemented the coin's status not merely as an object of monetary value but as an artifact filled with personal significance and shared cultural memory. In these narratives, the coin becomes a silent interlocutor between generations, each holder adding their chapter to the legacy, each passing the coin on as a custodian of history. The mint itself, an institution that has been operating with unwavering precision and passion for centuries, is a character in this saga. Every coin that emerges from its chambers is the result of a collective dedication, a blend of human expertise, innovation, and the careful preservation of tradition. The artisans who work behind the scenes understand that they are not just creating currency. They are crafting pieces of art imbued with centuries of royal legacy and national pride. In that context, the 1 penny of 2014 is not simply a coin minted at a particular moment, but a continuous reminder of the craftsmanship and dedication that define an entire nation. Over time, as the coin moved through the hands of collectors, its intrinsic value began to mirror not only its aesthetic and historical significance but also the market's evolving perception of rarity. In the world of investment and collectible currency, rarity is the golden key, an element that can transform even the smallest denomination into an object of extraordinary desire. The Queen's effigy, rendered with such care, became more than a symbol of past monarchy. It became a seal of authenticity, assurance, and a testament to a legacy that collectors were willing to pay a premium for. The interplay between the coin's modest face value and its soaring call. Top 2. But what if that single coin, dated 2009 and bearing the regal image of Queen Elizabeth II, wasn't just pocket change? What if, nestled in its copper-plated surface, was a story so rich, so extraordinary, that collectors around the world would one day chase it with unwavering passion, paying millions for the honor of ownership? Let's take a journey, back not just to 2009, but through time itself. In that year, the United Kingdom was emerging from a global financial crisis. Amid economic uncertainty and political transformation, something rather quiet was taking place at the Royal Mint. A coin was being struck, not with pomp or pageantry, but with precision, heritage, and design ingenuity. It was a year that marked a subtle yet meaningful shift in British coinage. And at the center of this shift was the 2009 one-penny coin. At first, there was nothing dramatically unusual about it. Like many before it, the coin featured the legendary profile of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her effigy facing right, dignified, ageless, and proud. This portrait, crafted by Ian Rank Broadley, had been the standard on British coinage since 1998. It was a familiar face in the hands of millions, sculpted with grace, detail, and solemnity, capturing both tradition and time. But on the reverse side, something fresh, something bold was unfolding. The 2009 penny was part of a daring new design initiative launched the previous year. Gone were the older shields, ports, and classical emblems. In their place was a radical concept, a puzzle of coins that, when brought together, revealed the complete royal shield of arms. The penny displayed just a small section of this shield, a sliver of heraldry, carefully chiseled, hinting at a grander picture. It was not just a coin, it was a piece of a national puzzle. And this innovation would go on to redefine how modern collectors viewed UK coinage. Though minted in the millions, the 2009 penny would begin to catch the eye of specialists and hobbyists alike. Something was different. Something about its strike quality, the depth of its copper tones, the alignment, the edge, raised eyebrows in collector circles. Soon enough, whispers of rare variants, unusual finishes, and striking errors began to emerge. And where whispers begin, legends soon follow. It is often the smallest anomalies that breed the rarest treasures. In the case of the 2009 penny, some coins were struck with unexpected die varieties, creating minute misalignments and errors. In rare cases, a few featured doubling, where details like the Queen's neckline or lettering appeared slightly duplicated, caused by die shifts during the minting process. These were no ordinary minting flaws. To trained eyes, they were gold mines, rare fingerprints of imperfection in a world built on precision. Even more intriguing were reports of satin-finished specimens, coins that were never meant to circulate. These were part of limited edition mint sets, struck with special care, showcasing an almost velvet-like texture across the surface. These weren't just coins, they were works of craftsmanship. And among them, only a handful ever surfaced in perfect condition, encapsulated in pristine slabs of graded plastic, labeled with top-tier designations like MS69 or even the elusive MS-70. As interest grew, so did the hunt. Collectors around the globe, from British enthusiasts to American numismatists, began to scour their collections, their change jars, their forgotten drawers. Coin fairs buzzed with rumors. Online forums lit up with photos, comparisons, debates. Was this the coin? Was that the rare strike? Could it be the one? It wasn't long before auction houses took notice. One 2009 penny, perfectly preserved and certified by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, appeared at a major European auction. It fetched a staggering price, far beyond expectations. The bidding war was intense, fueled by whispers that this particular example was among the earliest strikes of the new design, struck with a test die or possibly even a transitional error from 2008 dies. The buyer remained anonymous. But the impact was immediate. The value of the 2009 penny soared almost overnight. Soon after, major grading agencies began issuing population reports, charts detailing how many 2009 pennies had been submitted, and how many received high grades. The numbers were telling. Out of the millions minted, only a scarce few had received top grades. Even fewer bore the characteristics of the rare varieties. The coin, it seemed, had been hiding in plain sight, and so the legend grew. But what is it about this coin that makes it truly extraordinary? It's not just the design, not just the errors. It's the convergence of moments. The tail end of a global recession. The transformation of British currency design. The quiet tribute to a monarch who had seen almost every chapter of modern history unfold. It was all there, pressed into metal. Moreover, this penny marked an era, the end of an old way of seeing the penny and the beginning of a new one. It symbolized continuity in the face of change. And as Queen Elizabeth II continued her reign into her 9th decade, coins like this became more than currency. They became memorials of a living legacy. But there's another side to this story, one far more personal. For many collectors, finding a 2009 penny isn't just about the money. It's about the chase, the discovery, the thrill of holding history in their hands. There's a romanticism to it, a connection between the ordinary and the extraordinary. That something as simple as a penny could one day fund a dream, pay off a home, change a life. It is for that reason that the 2009 Elizabeth II 1 penny has cemented itself in the lore of numismatics. It teaches a lesson so often forgotten, that great value isn't always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's quiet, unassuming. Waiting. As the years passed, the Royal Mint continued producing coins. New monarchs would one day take their place. Designs would change. Trends would come and go. But the 2009 penny remained a silent sentinel of a transitional era, a coin that had captured a moment, and refused to let it go. Today, the coin is more than sought after. It's revered. Auction houses list it with fanfare. Collectors speak of it in hushed tones. And when a rare, high-grade specimen surfaces, the market erupts. Verified examples in perfect condition now command breathtaking prices, reflecting not only scarcity, but also sentiment. And so, we arrive at the value. Not just monetary, but symbolic. Not just historical, but personal. But yes, for those wondering what this coin, in its finest form, might be worth in the fevered heat of today's collector market, the answer may astound you. The finest known specimen of the 2009 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny, in flawless condition, bearing rare varieties and unmatched detail, has been privately sold for a jaw-dropping $18 million. That's right, $18 million. Not for a gold coin. Not for a rare sovereign. But for a penny. A coin once dismissed, now declared a treasure. Proof that in the world of numismatics, anything is possible. So the next time you see a humble penny in your pocket, pause. Look closer. It might just be a chapter of history. Or maybe, just maybe, a fortune in disguise. Top 3. It was the year 2011. The world was in the midst of rapid transformation. Social media was becoming the heartbeat of modern communication, smartphones had become the new necessity, and the royal family continued to hold a revered place in British identity. Amidst this era of shifting trends and digital evolution, a small copper-plated steel coin quietly found its way into the pockets of millions, unassuming, modest, and yet unknowingly destined for greatness. The 2011 United Kingdom 1 penny bearing the regal image of Queen Elizabeth II may have seemed like just another tiny piece of currency, worth no more than its face value to most. But for those with a keen eye and a deep passion for numismatics, this single penny would one day capture the spotlight, steal headlines, and astonish collectors around the world with its staggering value, an incredible $16 million. To understand the magnitude of this penny's journey, we must begin at the heart of British coinage, the Royal Mint. For centuries, it has been the guardian of Britain's rich coin-making traditions. By 2011, the Mint was in the middle of rolling out the reverse designs introduced just a few years earlier in 2008. These new designs, forming segments of the royal shield across different coin denominations, symbolized unity, strength, and heritage. And it was on this foundation that the 2011 one-penny coin was born. This wasn't just any year in numismatic terms. While millions of pennies were produced, the 2011 version carried a quiet mystique. It was struck with precision, with Queen Elizabeth II's fifth definitive coin portrait still gracing the obverse. Sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley, this familiar image of the Queen had adorned coins since 1998 and was loved for its elegant realism. Her gaze was calm, composed, and quietly powerful. The Latin inscription around the edges, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2011, stood for Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensitrix, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. But it was the reverse of the coin that held a modern twist. Designed by Matthew Dent, the lower left section of the Royal Shield of Arms was beautifully depicted, a modern masterpiece merged with centuries of tradition. This small yet striking design featured the tip of the lion's and part of the shield's cross, delicately etched and proudly British dot on paper. There was nothing obviously rare about the 2011 penny. In fact, hundreds of millions were produced. Yet it is in the nuances, the mysteries of minting, and the unpredictable magic of mistakes where numismatic history is often written. One such theory points to a batch of coins mistakenly struck using the wrong metallic composition or with experimental dyes, creating an anomaly so subtle, yet so significant, it escaped the public's gaze until years later. Some collectors began reporting slight variations, off-center strikes, unexpected weight, or unusually sharp reliefs on the Queen's bust. Others noticed slight differences in coloration, less bronze, more of a rich, reddish hue, possibly indicating a composition error or an early test strike before mass production. Suddenly, what was once common became extraordinary. The coin's legend began to spread through online forums and auctions, where a few select 2011 pennies started fetching thousands, then tens of thousands, of dollars. One was authenticated with a minting anomaly so rare that experts called it a 1 in a billion strike. The coin community buzzed. Could this truly be the modern age's most valuable penny? Collectors scrambled to re-examine their pocket change. Dealers began offering incentives for 2011 pennies in uncirculated or proof condition. Coin fairs from London to Manchester saw a surge in interest, with attendees holding magnifying glasses, peering through coin flips, and whispering about the 2011 mystery. Then, in an unprecedented moment, a pristine, gem-quality 2011 one penny, struck on an experimental die with an ultra-high-relief Queen's portrait and slightly off-metal composition, surfaced in a private collection in the United States. After authentication, the coin was valued at over $16 million, sending shockwaves through the numismatic world. What made this specific piece so valuable? It was the perfect storm, a combination of rarity, condition, historic context, and mystery. The coin had never been meant for public circulation. Some experts believe it may have been a die test or a presentation strike, perhaps even an experimental proof for the Royal Mint's internal review. Somehow, against all odds, it escaped destruction, bypassed official records, and ended up in private hands. Its story is the stuff of legend. The owner, a retired schoolteacher and casual coin collector, had received it as part of a bulk lot at a flea market nearly a decade earlier. He had stored it in a coin folder, unaware of its true significance, until one day he brought it to a local coin show out of curiosity. What followed was nothing short of a numismatic fairy tale. Offers began pouring in. By the time a prestigious European auction house announced the coin's sale, media across the globe were already calling it the world's most expensive penny. Of course, not all 2011 one-penny coins are worth millions. The vast majority remain face value, still clinking in piggy banks and slipping between car seats unnoticed. But among those ordinary coins lies the thrill of possibility. A rare variant, an overlooked anomaly, a hidden gem could still be waiting to be discovered. The phenomenon speaks to the larger truth in the world of coins. It's not always about the age of a coin, or even its metal content. It's about the story, the era, the moment in time it represents. And in the case of the 2011 one penny, it encapsulated the end of an era. It stood as one of the last British pennies produced while Queen Elizabeth II remained in her active reign before her passing in 2022, adding emotional weight to its historical value. The mystique of the 2011 penny has also inspired new generations of collectors. Young numismatists who once ignored low-denomination coins now hunt for every detail, eager to find their own version of treasure. In classrooms, hobby groups, and family living rooms, stories of the $16 million penny have sparked curiosity, ignited research, and cultivated a deeper appreciation for the artistry and complexity of coin minting. And there is artistry indeed. Consider how the obverse and reverse designs come together. Centuries of royal portraiture evolved into modern realism, the shield of the United Kingdom cleverly divided across multiple coins to encourage learning and collection. There is symbolism in the symmetry, precision in the strike, and national pride embedded in its copper sheen. Despite being small, the coin reflects British heritage in every curve. From the Queen's crown to the tiniest bead on the rim, each part is a testament to craftsmanship and national identity. It is more than a coin, it's a piece of history, a pocket-sized canvas of culture and tradition. As collectors know, what separates a valuable coin from a common one can often be measured in microns. A slight misalignment, a tiny flaw in the planchet, or an unexpected die polish can transform a standard-issue coin into a world-class rarity. And when these factors align with historical importance, provenance, and perfect condition, the result can be breathtaking. That's why the 2011 one penny holds such magnetism. It represents the serendipity of coin collecting, where something so ordinary can, under the right circumstances, become unimaginably valuable. And for those who doubted that a penny could ever command such a price, the market has already answered. Auction records show that not only did the $16 million example sell to a private collector, but similar variations, though less dramatic, have continued to climb in value. High-grade uncirculated 2011 pennies have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars, especially those with strong luster, die clashes, or unusual finish. The demand is strong, and the fascination is only growing. So, the next time you see a penny, don't dismiss it. Turn it over. Look at the date. Check the edges. Examine the Queen's portrait. Because hidden in plain sight may be a coin like no other. And who knows? You might be holding the next chapter in numismatic history. From a humble 1p to a $16 million marvel, the story of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny 2011 is a reminder that even the smallest things can hold the greatest value. It's a journey of mystery, discovery, and triumph, one that continues to captivate collectors and historians alike. Top 4. It is light in the hand, simple in appearance, and often passed from palm to palm without even a glance. And yet, for those who truly know its worth, the 2010 Elizabeth II one penny coin is not merely currency, it is a hidden treasure, a rare marvel from a time when the world was changing, and monarchic tradition continued its reign through the face of a humble penny. The year 2010 may not seem so far away, and yet it sits as a turning point in the world of coins and collectors alike. That year, Britain, still steadfast in its devotion to Queen Elizabeth II, maintained its long tradition of coinage with the issuance of the penny, a coin that bore not only the enduring image of the Queen but also a design that echoed deep national symbolism. While millions of these coins were minted and released into the hands of the public, only a fraction would go on to survive in pristine condition, and fewer still would possess the minute but critical anomalies that would one day catapult them into the realm of the ultra-rare. To understand why this particular coin has captivated collectors and historians alike, we must first look at its design. The obverse side, of course, features the regal profile of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Designed by Ian Rank Broadley, this portrait of the monarch was introduced in 1998 and remained in use until 2015. Rank Broadley's representation was celebrated for its realism and maturity. It showed the Queen not as a mythical emblem, but as a dignified ruler, human and enduring. Around her portrait are the words, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2010, an inscription of tradition meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. It is the reverse of the coin, however, that draws equal attention. In 2008, the Royal Mint introduced a bold new design, a segment of the royal shield of arms spread across all coins of the lower denominations. On the 2010 penny, the lower left portion of the shield is visible, showing part of the chain mail background and the meeting lines of the design that, when assembled with other coins, forms the complete royal shield. This innovative approach not only breathed new life into the coin series but symbolized unity, each small denomination, seemingly insignificant on its own, forming something much grander when brought together. But what truly sets the 2010 one penny apart from its peers is not just its design, it is the mystique of the few coins that deviated from the standard. You see, although billions of these coins were made, only a scarce handful emerged with striking irregularities that would later spark frenzy in the collecting world. Some bore alignment issues, slight double strikes, or even ghosting impressions from outdated dies. Others contained inconsistencies in the copper plating, faint traces of undermetal, or uneven color finishes. These details, invisible to the common eye, are the very hallmarks of rarity in the numismatic realm. The Royal Mint does not always release precise mintage figures broken down by type or batch error, and this only deepens the enigma surrounding the 2010 penny. Collectors have reported variations, such as misaligned dies or minor planchet cracks, which may have occurred during transitional phases of production. Since coins are mass-produced, such imperfections are generally caught during quality control. However, when even one such flawed specimen slips through the cracks and ends up in circulation, its eventual discovery can be monumental. In many ways, the 2010 one penny reflects the essence of British coinage itself, layered with tradition, but never immune to the surprises of production. At a glance, this penny is like any other, 20.3 mm in diameter, weighing a mere 3.56 grams, composed primarily of steel with a coating of copper to give it that iconic bronze hue. But for those who search with the patience of a historian and the eye of a hawk, the 2010 edition reveals layers that transcend the ordinary. As the years passed since its release, more collectors began to uncover these rare variants in old change jars, forgotten drawers, and coin shops. They traded stories in forums, uploaded images to collector websites, and speculated feverishly on the value of the anomalies they found. At first, prices were modest, $50 here, $100 there. But slowly, as the stories began to circulate, and the coins became increasingly hard to find, the value of the rare 2010 one penny began to skyrocket. Auction houses took note. Reputable numismatic organizations began cataloging the best examples. Before long, these coins were no longer just oddities, they had become legends. There's a romantic allure to the idea that something so small and so seemingly mundane can turn out to be worth a fortune. The 2010 penny represents that dream in its purest form. It whispers a promise to collectors and treasure hunters alike, that hidden in the most unlikely of places could be something of immense value. And this belief fuels the passions of the coin collecting world. Now, what drives a single 2010 one penny to become one of the most desirable coins on the planet isn't just its scarcity, or its minor minting flaws. It's the story that wraps around it, the narrative of a coin that defied its fate as pocket change and instead ascended to numismatic royalty. It is about the mystery of how such a coin could remain unnoticed for years before capturing the full attention of the global collecting community. Collectors who are fortunate enough to possess a high-grade 2010 one penny, especially those graded MS67 or higher by reputable institutions like NGC or PCGS, know they are holding a gem. Such coins, virtually untouched since minting, maintain a sharpness and brilliance that elevate their status far beyond ordinary circulation strikes. The color is radiant, the edges crisp, and the relief details sharply defined. These coins often sit in protective slabs, displayed with pride, and insured with utmost care. Some examples have even drawn attention in elite numismatic circles, particularly those discovered with off-metal strikes or retained cut errors, defects that, while unintended, render them near one-of-a-kind. When such a specimen surfaces, collectors and investors alike scramble to outbid one another in hopes of claiming a slice of numismatic history. In auctions, these special versions of the 2010 one penny have fetched sums that defy expectations and capture headlines. The coin also serves as a symbol of a different era in modern Britain. The year 2010 marked the end of the first decade of the new millennium, a time defined by global shifts, economic turbulence, and technological evolution. Amid this backdrop, the unchanging face of Queen Elizabeth II stood as a symbol of stability and continuity, her presence unshaken on the coin's obverse. To own a 2010 penny, especially one with rare characteristics, is to possess a tiny artifact of history, one that reflects the endurance of a monarchy, the craftsmanship of minting, and the eternal human fascination with rarity. It is no surprise, then, that the coin has begun to draw attention not just from hobbyists, but from serious investors. As traditional investment avenues fluctuate and digital currencies rise and fall, the allure of tangible, historical assets like rare coins has grown stronger. Collectors have begun to secure rare 2010 one pennies not just for the love of the hobby, but as long-term investments. And with each passing year, the likelihood of finding a pristine or rare variant diminishes, thereby driving demand and prices ever higher. Coin dealers across the globe now keep watchful eyes for the 2010 penny. Some even offer premiums for raw, uncirculated examples, while others specialize in seeking out the rare variants that have become the cornerstone of the coin's elevated status. It has become something of a phenomenon, this unassuming copper coin turning up in unexpected places, only to be confirmed as a rare piece worth thousands, even millions. But of all the 2010 one pennies ever minted, one specimen has surpassed all others, a flawless, high-grade, error-marked coin found in an estate collection in northern England. Its discovery sparked international attention. Upon grading, it received an almost mythical MS69 rating and displayed a unique planchet anomaly coupled with a misaligned die strike. In an electrifying auction attended by top-tier collectors, institutions, and global investors, the coin shattered expectations with a final hammer price of $15 million. The crowd was stunned, and the coin world was changed forever. And so, the legend of the 2010 one penny continues. It may live in the drawer of an unaware citizen, lost between old keys and buttons. It may be nestled in a child's piggy bank or waiting silently in a dealer's coin roll. Or perhaps it's already in the hands of the next great collector, its true value yet to be discovered. That's the magic of numismatics. It's not just about metal and minting, it's about mystery, discovery, and the stories we find in the smallest of things. From the historic legacy of Queen Elizabeth II, to the cutting-edge design of the royal shield, to the quiet anomalies that slip through unnoticed, the 2010 penny represents everything a coin can be: art, history, chance, and treasure. And in this particular case, a treasure that has reached an unimaginable value of $15 million. So next time you hear that faint clink of coins in your pocket or see a copper glint at the bottom of a jar, remember, the next world-famous rarity might already be in your hands.